ఇప్పుడు నాకు అది వినపడాలి కదా. స్టార్ట్ అయ్యి 9:30కి స్టార్ట్.
As we celebrated National Science Day in collaboration with IAPT and cluster colleges. Let us begin the day with prayer. I invite the choir team to lead us in prayer. Today's scripture portion is taken from the book of James, chapter 1, verses 2 to 5. My brethren, count it all joy when you fall into various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces patience. But let patience have its perfect work, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking nothing. If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives to all liberally and without reproach, and it will be given to him. This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God.
What gift of praise is Jesus my Redeemer? There is no more for heaven now to give. He is my joy, my righteousness and freedom, my steadfast love, my deep and boundless peace. To this I hold. until I stand with joy before the throne. To this I hope, my hope is only Jesus. On the glory evermore to Him. When the race is complete, still my lips shall repeat, yet not I, but through Christ in me. To this I hope, my hope is only Jesus. On the glory evermore to Him. When the race is complete, still my lips shall repeat, not I, but through Christ in me. Yet not I, but through Christ in me.
Please be seated.
Thank you, choir team. I request Shravani, second year, to call on the Almighty with a dance performance. Thank you, Shravani. Now I request our HOD, Dr. D. Sanda ma'am, to come on the dais. Thank you, ma'am. I welcome correspondent Sister Daya Kumari to come on the dais. Thank you, sister. I now request Principal Dr. Sister A. Vijayarani onto the dais, please, sister. Thank you, sister. And a warm welcome to our chief guest, Professor K. Venugopal Reddy, sir, Department of Physics, Usmania University. Welcome on the dais, sir. We also welcome our dear Dr. Swarna ma'am, who is present us with online. We are delighted to have you, ma'am. We acknowledge the presence of participants from different colleges, Bhavans College, Vanita College, to name a few. We heartily welcome you all. I request Dr. Sarla ma'am to welcome our chief guest with green greetings. I request Ms. Jaya ma'am to welcome our beloved principal, Dr. Sister A. Vijayarani. I request Ms. Rini to welcome correspondent Sister Daya Kumari.
ఇది దాని కింద పెట్టేసి సేమ్ అదే థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్
I request Dr. GSVRK Chowdhury sir to accept our virtual greetings. Thank you, sir. I welcome HOD Sarla ma'am to say a few words on this event.
Good morning. Welcome you all to this National Science Day celebrations 2K24. We are very happy to be celebrating this science. Welcome, Principal, Bhavans College, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
So on behalf of the Department of Physics and Electronics and St.Anne's College Management, we are very happy to celebrate this National Science Day. And we have the midst Dr. Sanna Kumari, whose topic she was serving as a head, and she worked in spectroscopy. And we have a chief guest here, Professor Vedagopal Reddy, whose specialization also is in NMR, spectroscopy. They are brain children, in fact, of Sasigira. And let me just tell you, the floor is open for them to discuss about these, the advances, the progress that has been going on during the last decade for science and technology. So I just want to motivate all like students here. We welcome all the students coming from the different colleges, underclass colleges, as well as our own students. So it is the youth who is going to shape the future, especially in the science and technology wing. So just to give you a brief, you all know the mission Chandrayaan 2, Chandrayaan 3, and so on. All these are you who are going to take the country forward in the years to come. So the Minister of State, Dr. Jitendra Singh, who is a doctor himself, he has all praise for our Indian scientists. And I want to tell you one or two important aspects of this. The theme, every year we have a theme for the national science. This year, the theme is indigenous technologies. Indigenous, developing our own technologies for the future in the science and technology stream. And you will be surprising to know that our country is secured 40th rank in what is known as Global Innovation Index. It rose to 41st rank as stated by the Minister of State, Dr. Jitendra Singh, in ISRO inaugural Science Museum and Science Day. It rose from 81st rank in 2015 to 41st rank. So next year, next decade, with you people around, it should reach little higher. So from 80, it became 40. 40, where do you want to take the country to? First? Very good. Wonderful. Along with it, our St.Anne's College also is going for NAC accreditation. We are accredited with college with potential for excellence twice. So we are also, our bar also should be elevated along with the national. So whatever we do, it should be with the national mission. That is what it is. And you'll also be surprised, we are fourth among the research contribution, scientific research contribution across the country. Right? So again, that also has to be pushed across the countries in the world. This is global index that I'm talking about. The other thing is our patents. Some of you must be knowing what patents are. Your own research, if no one else is publishing, then you can go for patent rights. Okay? And 90,000, 90K patents are submitted by young scientists of our own country. That means their research, you see how far it is going. Nobody else is doing in that. So we should take your own colleges and march along with it, with the country's national mission and build up this future further. I wish you all the best and I appreciate all the students coming from different colleges presenting your projects. I think 5 colleges are presenting. May I know the registration? Around 30 registrations, 30 registrations of different projects. So basically, this is both physics and electronics together. Physics and electronics are integral part of the same subject, and you all know other subjects are derived from these variant sciences. Electronics, computer science, artificial intelligence, image processing, all these are embedded. This is our language. They are all embedded into physics and electronics. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for those who have wonderful prayer and also the dance that is being performed, choreographed. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I request Sister Principal to address the gathering.
Honorable dignitary, Mr. Ved, and now senior enthusiastic personality, Dr. Sarala ma'am, and then calm and quiet personality, our correspondent Sister Daya Kumari. She's a good observer, of course. And then all the faculty and the students, my beloved students. How are you all? So I have not prepared essays of my speech. Very 2-3 sentences I'll be ending up. So once we visited a family recently. So where we were. So there we visited once we visited one family, and the small kids were found on the floor, twins there, 4 months babies there. One is girl and another one is boy baby. So girl was silent, and boys, they are naughty from the childhood, from the inception. So boy was crying and irritating the mother. Then immediately, so she switched on TV. Cartoons videos were going on. Believe or not, once the mother was going towards TV, he kept quiet. Immediately kept quiet, and he was watching it continuously. Small baby, 4.5 months baby. Then you all know very well that mother finds difficult to feed child till third year, 4 years, or 5 years. So what do? They give mobile, no? They give mobile and feed them. So they're addicted from childhood. They're addicted to this. Then once the students starts coming to the school, then as soon as they leave school, I think you might have followed that. You carry the bag and reach home at around 4 or 4:30 or 5:30 like that. What do? You immediately throw the bag and what do you do? Tell me. We go towards the mobile. Immediately we start operating the mobile till intermediate because college doesn't allow all this. But in degree, mobile is in the hand, nowhere, only in the hands. Mobile is in the, of course, technovation is very good for the development of the society if we use them properly. And so many good incidents and good events occur in the college like this, like seminars or events, different various events and all that. But those events are posted very less on Instagram. But if any bad event occurs in the college, immediately you post them. Even though the bad situations do not occur, you create it and you create them and then post them on Instagram, which means we are not only developing ourselves as Sarala ma'am addressed, but we are also degrading our values. Along with the technovation, we are draining our values, which are very, very necessary in life. And tomorrow in future, very soon, the world is going to be in corruption if we don't utilize these technological devices properly. And you students, youth, being youth, you need to bring up the society not only in scientific manner, but also in value with the value system we should go ahead. And tomorrow you are the future of society. And if society gets distracted with all these things, then tomorrow how the life is going to be ruined. And so many things are occurring around. So I advise the students, you not only gain the knowledge from SAR today, from various questions, whatever you pose them, but also you maintain the value system along with your technology, then you will be number one in the position. So all the people, those who are CEOs and different positions in big companies, they maintain the values. They maintain values as well as they also work on this technology. So students, this is my instruction. We see that you don't get deviated to something else, but rather use your devices proper way, then you will come up in your life. All the best, and I wish all the faculty to have the best day today. And students, you have good opportunity. You can also okay. So take it. Ma'am is requesting to you all to take pledge. Teach technology to transform. Teach technology to transform what?
Yourself,
Our lives.
the society.
To transform our lives. Okay? If each one transfers their own lives, society automatically gets transformation. So all the best and good luck for today. So welcome you, sir, and team at home here. And then please be generous enough to answer them whatever they question, and you can also correct them wherever it is necessary. Thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation. And welcome all the students from various colleges.
Thank you, sister, for your valuable message. Now I welcome Principal Dr. GSV R.K. Chowdhury, sir, to address the gathering.
Sir, you are requested to talk. Few words.
Good morning to principal of St.Ann's College. And, today's chief guest, Professor Venugopal Reddy sir, and other dignitaries present in that meeting. At the outset, I would wish all of you a happy National Science Day, which we celebrated yesterday. But in continuation, I think we are continuing the program today also. So, National Science Day is celebrated every year to commemorate the work of the scientists who have done across the country to remember or to get awareness of what the scientific community of India are doing. I think already Sarla Madam has presented beautifully what is the contribution and how India is growing. I think the two policies which have been made, that is the Make in India policy and Atmanirbhar policy, have triggered the. It was there before also. All scientists were working before, but I think these two policies have triggered to make innovations indigenously in India. That is what I think we have changed the entire country scenario now. People are working across different areas and different institutes like DRDO and other ISRO also. Mostly 90% of all the things which we are now able to use are indigenously built. Yes, a less percentage we are still going for imports in certain areas. But this is what the students has the future. There are many areas where you can still work and try to develop indigenous technologies. I think this is where the title was brought into picture, so that these technologies which can be built indigenously, it need not be an innovation, but something which is there already and we are trying to import it. And if we can manufacture in India, I think it will be a huge boost for our economical growth. So keeping in view, I request all the students to at least have awareness about what our scientists have worked before and how those things are developed and how we are moving forward and what students are supposed to do in which areas. I think even I was mentioning yesterday, still there are a lot of scope. Now you all are aware that the mobile technology is flourishing like anything, and we buy chargers. Yesterday also I was mentioning in our college, see, we use chargers, right? Simple, we buy a charger and use it. But now the technology is moving something towards wireless charging also, right? You put a solar panel onto your phone, and if the light falls and if it gets charged, how beautiful the concept is, how much time is saved, right? And moreover, when we are using this solar energy, it is the energy which is there we are using. We are going waste, and that we are converting. Similarly, the same thing, the vehicles. You get now into the market, electronic vehicles have come into the picture. Mostly people are buying, keeping the pollutions. But think about it, having an electronic vehicle, having a solar rooftop, and if it can charge the car, how wonderful it will be, right? These are the technologies, these are the openings which are there for the students to work on it. Lot of things are, it is only the students' interest, see what is happening, know what is happening, and try to do yourself a little bit of innovation. And you can today, India is ready for all the young students coming who can start up anything, which even a small project, if you can start up, the government of India itself is coming forward to encourage the students to do startup. I think in this scenario, the students who are there with us now who are into inter and degree, it's a very good opportunity for them to work innovations, particularly electronics and physics. The subjects will give you such enough knowledge and opportunity. I think it is only the students who should be ready to utilize that kind of opportunities coming to them. And in that context, I think the initiation by Sarla ma'am and Prasanna ma'am to conduct these kind of workshops, it makes a lot of difference for our students. I think there was a period where we are physics and electronics are supposed to be very difficult subjects, but anything you do this kind of models and workshops, I think it will go a long way. So I congratulate both the physics and electronic departments of St.Anne's College and Province College for initiating this program. And I especially thank Venugopal Reddy sir for providing the funding to conduct this program, who are always behind us to do such kind of works. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir. I request Ms. Hanifa, MPCS second year, to introduce our guest speaker.
Respected Chief Guest, Sarla ma'am, and all the other faculty present here, and all of my dear friends, I wish you all a very good morning. Today, it's my pleasure to introduce our chief guest, Professor K. Venugopal Reddy. Dr. K. Venugopal Reddy was a professor in physics at University College of Science, Osmania University. He has over 37 years of teaching and 45 years of research experience. He is a recognized research supervisor. He completed his undergraduation and post-graduation degrees from Osmania University during 1975 and 1977 respectively. Later, he joined Osmania University as a lecturer in 1978. Dr. Reddy obtained his PhD degree in 1983 in the field of magnetic resonances. During his doctoral work, he had designed and fabricated indigenously a continuous wave NMR spectrometer to work at both low and high temperatures. Dr. Reddy has to his credit about 30 research papers published in various national and international journals. Dr. Reddy handled research projects from University Grants Commission (UGC), Department of Science and Technology (DST), Atomic Energy Regulatory Board (AERB), and Department of Biotechnology (DBT). His research areas are magnetic resonance and magnetic resonance imaging techniques, bioelectronics, medical physics, and he is presently working on nanotoxicity. In 2013, a collaborative project with BITS Pilani, Hyderabad campus, professor was sanctioned by the Department of Biotechnology to work in nanotoxicity titled Novel Biomarker Responses to Validate Acute Toxicity of Engineered Nanoparticles and Their Physico-Chemical Interactions in Earthworm as a model bioindicator of nanoecotoxicology. He has been a member on many academic bodies and academic councils of various universities and colleges. He has written and edited multiple open university laboratory manuals for BSc students and textbooks for MSc students in both English and Telugu. Professor K. Venugopal Reddy is not only an academician, he also has very rich administrative experience. He was Controller of Examinations, Nizam College, as well as University College of Science, Convener, ASLP Courses OU, Convener, University Industry Hub OU, Chairman, Board of Studies in Electronics OU, Member, Advisory and Purchase Committee OU, Director, Directorate of Placement Services OU, Chairman, Board of Studies in Physics OU, Director, Central Facilities for Research and Development, CFRD OU, Director, University Computer Center OU, Head Department of Physics OU, Coordinator DSFI IST, Department of Physics OU, Chairman Board of Studies in Physics, Satavahana University, Karimnagar. During his tenure as Director CFRD, many high-end equipment was made accessible to researchers, staff, and students across the country in general, and Osmania University in particular, to carry out their research-related experimental analysis. To name a few of the equipments, they are scanning electron microscope, transmission electron microscope, FT NMR 400 MHz spectrometer, confocal microscope, and many others. He was instrumental in shifting of University Computer Center to CFRD building premises and establishing a data center. He was Executive Council Representative from Regional Council 22 of Indian Association of Physics Teachers IAPT and ex officio member of Nagarjuna Nagar Welfare Association Tarnaga. Now I invite Sir to give the keynote address.
Just turn this. The wall can also be seen. The scene. Or not, you can operate this. Then 26. Share this.
Good morning to every one of you. I'm happy to be here in your institute. When I say in your institute, it includes St.Ann's College for Women, Bhavan's Vivekananda College, and also, I think, Vanita Degree College. Is it exhibition grounds? Yes. All these three colleges are not new to me. I have been to these institutes plenty of times on various occasions, having various responsibilities to perform in these institutes, and staff members of all these institutes were very kind enough to me. Some of them were my students during my working days. First of all, let me express my gratitude to the principal, Sister Dr. Vijayarani Garu, St.Anne's College for Women, and also the principal, Dr. Chaudhary Garu, Bhavan's College, Bhavan's Vivekananda College, we should say. And who is principal of Vanita College, I do not know, but my gratitude is equal to the person there. I think it is Dr. Shobhana. And to all these principals and also their staff members at the management of these institutes, I express my gratitude and also best wishes to these institutes and its students. And let me briefly talk to you about the faculty of St.Ann's College for Women, particularly Physics and Electronics Department, and also the staff from Bhavan's Vivekananda College. In fact, I had the pleasure of seeing these staff members working for the development of academics, both in theoretical and practical ways in their respective institutes. Lot of improvements and developments have been done in these institutes in teaching methodology and also training the students for science competitions at various levels. And these departments are well established, and you're all very fortunate to take admission in these institutes. I would like to congratulate all of you for joining this institute and continuing your education. And we have assembled here to participate in a seminar which is named as Technovation, that is technology innovation. And this naming of the topic tells you how significant is technology for electronics and physics students. Not only these two branches, we have to understand one more important aspect, that technology is important for all the basic sciences. And I'll add one more thing to this. All kinds of education systems in all kinds of fields, technology is going to play a main role in future. And just yesterday, we have celebrated National Science Day. So my greetings to all the staff members and students of these institutes who are here in the cluster combination process of new education policy. And this is a wonderful idea to make the students come together of various institutes and share their experiences of different institutes in their studies. And that gives a lot of confidence and knowledge when they meet each other and share the subject details. And this National Science Day, why do we celebrate? Many people might have told, and all of you might know it also. But once we have to take the Nobel laureate, Professor Chandrasekhara Venkataraman's name with our mouth, rather, voice. He was a stalwart, and he was a professor of spectroscopy in Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. And he has performed his experiments with very ordinary indigenous equipment. And the spectrometer on which he has carried out the work of his Nobel Prize is present in the institute as an exhibit model. And if any one of you go for visiting IISc Bangalore, you can see this in the administration building of IISc. And I wish all of you will get more opportunities to go across the country to various higher institutes to review your education. Fine. This aspect, National Science Day, is helping all of us meet on one day for critically reviewing our efforts in understanding science and technology. Without taking much time, because I believe 30 to 40 minutes, I should cover the things. I thought I'll make a presentation. The presentation will cover right from the basic electronics, and it will go on till today's advancement in the subject and future proposals in the subject. I'll be briefly covering these aspects, but remember, if you have any kind of doubts or clarifications, at a later stage you can all interact with me. Don't hesitate, because student community is our future. And I always respect the sentiments of students in the classroom and outside equally. So the topic which I have shown here, it says evolution of electronics and cutting edge communication technology. Actually, this covers a lot of information if I have to go in detail. But as I told you all, because you all hear everything in your classrooms, I'll just rush through what is important. And before going to that, let me share one most important aspect because of which we are able to celebrate this technovation or technology innovation today. It is because of Indian Association of Physics Teachers. This is an organization, national organization, formed in 1984 by Dr. D.B. Khandelwal, a professor of physics, and it has grown to a very larger extent across the country now, and it is serving its purpose by reaching every student on the country's earth. And you can see the objective of IAPT, as mentioned in its constitution, this tells you everything about IAPT. To upgrade the level of teaching and teachers of physics and related areas at all levels, to pool and mobilize the talents and resources of teachers in the national perspective. This is what is mentioned there, and it is being done exactly. And I request and advise all of you to become members of this organization, national organization. It welcomes the students and the staff equally. And for details, you can approach your staff here, and you can also learn more about your subjects through Zoom interactions, and also you can participate in Physics Olympiad. So this is what is IAPT, and I express my gratitude to the national body for allowing us to meet today and celebrate this National Science Day. So once again, my greetings to all of you on National Science Day, and we will proceed for our topic, evolution of electronics. Now, I hope here all 3 years of physics electronics students are present. And remember, physics and electronics are always together. You can't separate them, even though the departments look different and the syllabuses are different, but without each one, they can't survive in academics. So, electronics evolution I'll be concentrating on today, And this is the subject, it has influenced the academics in India in 70s. And electronic subjects were started in physics departments of various colleges and also at various universities. And you will start learning right from discrete components in electronics, both passive devices and active devices. And passive devices teaches you certain laws and theorems which will make you experts in using passive components at various stages in electronics. Similarly, the active devices which you learn, in fact, you are all fortunate enough, you will start learning passive active devices right from only semiconductor designs devices. But we had the fortune of learning electronics, which was much before vacuum tubes. In fact, we learned electronics in our undergraduate courses through vacuum tubes. And later on, when we joined the university, we came to know about semiconductors, and the devices who were available then were one piece each. And we never had opportunity to look at them also. The teacher was to bring in his pocket to the classroom and show for 1 second. Last benches could not see. He would keep in his pocket and go away. But now you're all very lucky. Each one of you has access for all kinds of devices and instruments. And the credit goes to whom? Faculty who are teaching all of you. I really appreciate the teachers of physics and electronics equally, because they have to really put in efforts and struggle a lot. Now, these components, when you learn, you will start learning about hardware electronics first. And then you will go to move on to software electronics. I'm using these terms instead of analog and digital because the fashion is now hardware and software. But it is nothing different than analog and digital. And you learn these aspects in analog. So much you learn right from rectification process to the characteristics of various active devices. And you will come to know various parameters which can be controlled by varying the biasing voltages across the terminal device electrodes. And this tells you the process of electron conduction through various kind of configurations and structures of electronic circuits. And similarly, once you learn the characteristics for all the devices, you will be designing and constructing circuits right from half wave rectifier, full wave rectifier, it goes on till power amplifiers. And you also will have the amplifiers, oscillators, and multivibrators, etc., etc. So many things you will learn. Yeah.
Communication.
Yeah. Now, the aspect of digital electronics, when it starts, you will start learning about binary, number systems, and that is Boolean algebra, I can call. And then you will learn De Morgan's theorems, and then go on to do logic gates, theoretically and experimental. And once you start logic gates, you will start learning what is digital electronics. And you learn in digital electronics right from logic gates to all the circuits, including flip-flops, shift registers, counters, etc., multiplexers, demultiplexers, so on and so forth. And all these, when you are performing experiment, they'll be giving you thrilling results. So you feel very excited to look at them. And with the combination of these two together, analog and digital, you have various applications. And I'm going to concentrate on Of course, I'll just show you some figures here. Vacuum tubes, most of you might not have seen. The first one is vacuum tube. The next one is vacuum tubes, actually diode, triode, tetrode, pentrode. 5 categories were there. They were to work at high voltages, unlike semiconductors. And always we were to get power-based designs with vacuum tubes. And next you have a transistor, and a transistor shown with 4 electrodes. Any one of you name a device, transistor with 4 terminals? Field effect transistor. Okay? Bipolar junction transistor will have 3 terminals. And more than 4 terminals, what will have? Integrated chips. Okay? So I've shown a diagram of integrated chip, and later we have system on chips. The integration of digital circuits have taken a large jump, I should say, towards miniaturization and compactness of various electronic circuit designs and fabrications. Today, when we talk about communication, before that, few things, quotations I would like to read out for all of you. Innovate electronics with inspiration. In electronics, unless you are inspired, you don't go towards innovations. So remember this. And from Ohm's law to the laws of innovation, an electronic student's journey is electrifying. Every stage will be exciting. And innovations is the electrons dance to a new tune. And communication is the conductor of innovation in electronics, orchestrating the symphony of progress. And most important thing, electrons don't discriminate, they follow the path you create. It's all in our hands. And when you design a circuit out of your textbook on your own, plan something and design it and make it function, make it work, which you are going to show me now after this presentation, will be an achievement at student level. And try to learn more and more, try to do more and more. Now coming to the communication aspect, so again, I will not be going into the details of all the processes, but communication, all of you know, it is the transmission of intelligence between 2 entities. Transmission of intelligence between 2 entities. That means communication has to have some meaning. It has to have some purpose. And this aspect, you people have learned right from simplex transmission, half duplex, full duplex, so on and so forth. I'm not going to define all that, you know. Most important communication thing is you have to have transmission both ways simultaneously. And that's what the full duplex communication is. And again, in communication, we have various kinds of processes available. Wire, using a conducting wire, you can do communication. Without a wire, you can do communication. And you can do communication over shorter distances and longer distances and across the globe. Now, this aspect, how did electronics achieve? It has done this by using of radiation or electromagnetic waves. You might have heard of communication, analog communication and digital communication techniques. And in both these aspects, what you will have is a transmitter and a transmission medium and a receiver. And now the technology has grown to such an extent because we need full duplex communications. Each place of transmission and receiving, transmitter and receiver places are taken up by transceivers. That is, both transmitting and receiving is performed by one unit. So this transceiver system has simplified the communication technology. Now this aspect which you do with your laboratories, you have analog and digital thing. Digital will have modulation, demodulation, transducers in that, all that you are familiar with. Then we have the communication which has to be done with security. That is, information loss should not be there. And there should not be any kind of difficulty in handling larger amount of information, that is huge bandwidths. The technique is optical fibers. Fiber technology enters here, and all of you have heard of it, and now we are all using it at our homes also. The transmission signals we receive through optical fibers for covering larger range of information, that is over larger bands of information, and also there will be the bandwidth which helps you in non-attenuation of signal informations. That means the power through which the input generates at the output with very less loss in the magnitude you receive the information. The clarity will be there. That is optical fiber communication. And then we have communication without wire. And this communication is wireless communication. And before going into the details, I'll start this. Cutting edge technology innovation. That is the ultimate electronics which we have across the globe now, and the developments across the globe. In India, electronics was not that much dominant in growth process earlier. But for the past few years, electronics has grown strength-wise to a larger amount, and electronics technologies are now doing a lot of things under Make in India and Skill India missions. And we also are going to have a semiconductor technology industry in Hyderabad. So a lot of opportunities for students of electronics. Usually, people are afraid of joining electronics, saying that there are no job opportunities or future for electronic students. That's not true. Electronics is everywhere. And without electronics, nobody can survive. And the electronics has reached a stage where an illiterate can also utilize the outcome of electronics. That is, the gadgets prepared by electronics technology are being used by illiterate people. So such is the popularity of this, and in present day scenario, even all kinds of applications are through apps in electronic software, and we use them for convenience and comfortability. Now, the wireless, wireline, and high-speed digital communications are the most sought after technologies. And software, automotive, and networks are coming forward for their development in the technology. I'm sorry that image is not clear here, but it is a wireless communication system covering larger areas. And this aspect, in fact, is an important growing field in electronics. And all of you have heard in communication, the most required thing is sending huge amount of information or data from one place to the other place. And also, the speed of the communication should be very high. It should reach instantly the destination. Now, to have these aspects, what are the most important things? The most important things are the design of a device which will be used here should have the ability to hold a lot of information in it. That is, a memory has to be created where a larger amount of information should be kept, and that information should be passed on to the receiver end at a larger speed. And this has to happen through the transmission medium without any loss. And the speeds which I am talking about here, through radiation, they will go fast. But within the device and instrument, the speeds have to be achieved. That depends on the device configuration and the device design. Now, all kinds of digital chips which are used in various applications have the ability of handling larger amount of information, that is storing in them through their memory devices, and then handling that information at a time the whole amount can be transmitted through radiation to the other end. And that means the development of communication in wireless took place through different stages, and all of us name them as first generation, second generation, third generation, fourth generation. We are using fourth generation now. And some mobile servicing people, they claim that they are serving us 5G, fifth generation, but it is not true. It is not yet that easily available entity now. But some places experimentally they are performing experiments, and when they require that, actually they are able to buy the equipment and use it, and it is costly now. And later on, when 4G has given certain limitations in the applications, 5G and 6G are looked for now. And fifth generation and sixth generation communication technology has the ability to handle even 1,000 gigabytes of information per second to transmit and to receive. And if we go to sixth generation, there you have the possibility of few terabytes of information can be transmitted. And there are claims that in China, they are able to do this. Now let's hope India will make it, and be prepared, all of you. You may have a chance to create this. Now, I have written there metaverse with 5G and 6G. This is to give you in advance the future aspect which is going to come. Metaverse is virtual universe. You might have heard of this. Okay. And this virtual universe is going to dominate, and this will become available only with fifth generation and sixth generation communication technology. And because of this, you can create a virtual image of a physical object in real time. In real time. And this, in fact, when you create that, the image and the object both can also interact. This looks something, extreme. Rather, how can it be possible? But it is possible. And one more important achievement this can make is, this is actually on two-dimensional screen. It happens, but the three-dimensional view you can have. It is like hologram, but it's not hologram. So a wonderful technology which is going to take place. And this, when I look at a small comparison, I would like to share with all of you. Excuse me. Hello. If you have any problem in listening, I'm not teaching you the classroom information. Something which will enlighten you. If you are interested, sit in the hall, otherwise you can walk out. I have no objection. I taught only once for one student also in the classroom. Indiscipline I can't stand. I'm sorry. Okay? Now, the comparison which I would like to share with all of you is, have you heard of Vedic sciences? Yes? Vedic sciences are olden age sciences. Modern science is what we are learning now. And in modern science, what we are trying to design is a metaverse, virtual universe. In Vedic sciences, in those ages, rishis and munis were able to see 3D images through their meditative minds, silent minds, on the virtual screens which are established in their meditations. I think most of you might have heard of these things. In olden days, they had that capability, and they have to have virtual meetings. Okay, the technology is same. Now we are reaching that, and they have done it earlier itself. And Vedas are the knowledge, and Vid, V-I-D, is in Sanskrit to know, and Vidya is knowledge. So all these have links. In fact, if one sits calmly and thinks about. This is only for information I'm sharing with you. If you have any kind of interest in these aspects, you people can definitely learn about inner sciences and outer sciences. Inner sciences are the ones which are there in you under meditative mind. And outer science is the one which you perform in the laboratory. And these have a lot of similarities, and one can appreciate when you reach those stages. Now, after this, wireline and high-speed digital communication techniques. So most dominating thing is optical fibers technology, and to achieve high speeds through this wireline technology, you have limitation about connecting distances, but about the performance, it has highest efficiency. And you can see the empowering technology for hyperscalers. Hyperscaler is huge amounts of data. It is called hyperscaler. So if you have to handle that kind of data, you have to have the latest ones, computing standards, which are peripheral component interconnect express, which is 6th mode. And then you should have USB, 4th version, and version 4 and version 2. This is capable of transmitting 80 gigabits per second. Okay, this universal serial bus has that ability, and also it has the ability of double dynamic rate communication. So the development is towards having solutions for 400 gigabits transmission and 800 gigabits transmission and 1.6 terabytes transmission. So we are looking at a technology which is actually not possible for normal imaginations. And remember, even though the technology is growing so fast and so much bigger magnitudes, the compactness of the structures, designs of the instruments are becoming smaller and smaller and smaller. That means you are saving huge amounts of electric power. Next important thing required for communication is software. Now, when you have a lot of digital electronics with you, to use it optimally, you need to have software knowledge, that is, understanding writing of a program in a particular language, learning all the tactics or intelligent moves for writing a software program with minimum lines, minimum steps, and maximum performances. And we have various kinds of languages to do this. And Python and Java equally are dominating now. And now there is time for all youngsters to, particularly electronic students, to take on this challenge and prove themselves that yes, this is reachable. Learn about paradigm shifting moves with software design tools, software automation, phase array simulation, signal integrity, and power integrity test tools. So these are the steps which are required. And integrity of power components is also the most important one. And next, the most dominating electronics technology is electric vehicles, automotive concepts. And this field has certain limitations as on today, but to make it available to all people with simple operability technology, it needs building the software-defined vehicle. Completely, it should be software-defined. It is not 100% software-defined now. And also, the vehicle autonomy around the corner, it is required now. Vehicle has to have its independence. And if the technicians or engineers work for this, it is achievable. And then we do all this, but there must be some testing mechanism. You have designed and built a network, but there is no mechanism to test. I'll give you an example for this. I was very much interested in genetics, but I'm a physicist teaching electronics and doing research in multidisciplines. So I took up the research of DNA molecule usage as a conducting element. That means DNA molecule is a conductor with minimal ability. It has proved. It has been proved, rather. And I tried with the collaboration of genetics people, extracting DNA strings and developing a network there, but we never had proper instruments. Network is there, but we wanted to measure the current magnitude, which is in picofarad, picoamperes, I'm sorry. So we can't. Now it is nanoamperes available. But in other places where advanced technology is possible there, they have now ampere measuring instruments. And the success of bioelectronics depends on the measurements at lower levels. And the technology has to come off this challenge. And I have given you various methods which are used there, but let us hope things will be moving forward. And I wanted to show you people this diagram. If you notice this, we have moved from one kind of society to another kind of society over a period of time. And when we moved from agricultural society to industrial society, then information society, then knowledge society. presently we are living in knowledge society. And this knowledge development which is happening in present day is very fast, and the knowledge amount which is getting doubled is only within 3 hours time. The amount of knowledge which is available across the universe is getting doubled in 3 hours time. So you can imagine the speed with which the developments are happening. And if you look at the products which are happening in those periods are in elliptical shapes here. And now with the knowledge society, what we are doing is through innovations, we are developing networks. Through networks, the technology is developed. And through technology, the products are coming out. Okay? So in science, we have 3 different stages. Sorry. Basic science, practical science, and product science. Product science. Okay? Now, you all know theoretical aspect, basic science, and practical science, you all know, laboratory experiments you keep doing, and product science, from where it should come. Product science is nothing but technology. Okay? So, a different name for technology. Now, this is what has the transmission which happened from old age to, past age to present age. And through technology, we are trying to generate or create a lot of things and which will be of use. The science of today is the technology of tomorrow. That's what Edward told. And I wanted to show you people this tabular form for some important information. This shows you the power dynamics fundamentally how it changed over a period of time. Power dynamics. It is like politics, present day politics. Power dynamics in electronics is like that. And I have given you 3 headings there: old times power concept, and new time power concept, and new time power value. In olden days, currency was there as power, and you had, in present day, current is the power. Isn't it? Voltage multiplied by current. What do you get? And the value for it is speed. And next, the power was held by few people in olden days. And present day it is made by many. And the value is networked governance. They all join hands and do together. And in olden days, downloads were hierarchical. Then now it is uploads, grassroots. And the value is do it ourselves. And next, commands were there in olden days. And it became shares. Now the value is collaboration. Cluster collaboration. That's what we are doing. And then, in earlier days, leader-driven it was. Now it is peer-driven. And the value is participation. Yes. And finally, closed systems were there. It was not open in olden days. Now it is open, and that is transparency. Unless what you are doing is transparent, there is no value for it. You can't hide things in the society. Then, now I just wanted to enlighten you with the terminology, vocabulary, which is coming up in the society. Everybody is very interested in talking about these topics. Okay? These are not that simple topics which we, including me, understand. Only definitions we know, but technology-wise, we all should know what is happening and what is coming up, what is going to rule all of us. So, Chat GPT. In fact, this is a product of artificial intelligence. When something is made and it has to enact the human activity, it is called artificial intelligence. And in developing that, there are some language models which are used, and through those language models, they have developed Chat GPT. This is actually Chat Generative Pre-trained Transformer. And this concept is supervised and reinforced learning is available, and it is versatile and is capable of writing phishing emails and malware, a huge cybersecurity risk. So the technology, what is coming up as a risk, but we all have to know about it. Then I just wanted to share with all of you the development in electronics is helping many other fields. And one of them is materials. Material science is equally important for every kind of scientific growth. Even though we don't read much about it in our specializations, we need to learn this. And one important aspect I would like to share with all of you. Now, the present day education system in which you are all doing your studies is vertical mobility. Understood? What is vertical mobility? You will choose your option at your intermediate stage, and you will move on to your graduation with the same specialization, post-graduation with the same specialization, research, same specialization. You will not be allowed to talk about other fields. But what we require is horizontal mobility. That is, our education system should have. Yes, and that we call as multidisciplinary concept. Okay, so materials now is leading for electronics growth. Its existence, it is leading for electronics growth, because if you have to design and fabricate a chip with large amount of memory, you need to have a suitable material. And that material should have properties of withstanding the temperature, pressure, climate conditions, and also it should handle less power. The heat of the device which generates during the processing, it should be minimal. All these aspects one has to look into, and these are possible in materials study. And that is the reason now materials research is equally important for electronics growth, and materials research in advanced way. It's not like earlier days. There is a genome sequence for materials which is generated, and you need not look for literature in books now. Online they are made available. You can choose different materials of different properties and different characters and develop the device which is required for an application. So you need that. And that with artificial intelligence definitely is going to take electronics much further. And I just wanted to say a few things about artificial intelligence. It is dangerous precisely because the day could come when it is no longer in our control at all. Always, when we do some circuit design, we want it to be controlled by us or indirectly by some software design programs. but it should not have its own independence. Then nearly half of researchers say there is a 10% chance their work will lead to human extinction. This is a big threat to the society. Then the reality is we are creating a god. If we are creating artificial intelligence which can behave like a human being, that means we are nothing less than God, supreme power. And few more examples which are leading in electronics technology. I named them here. One is Microsoft company has developed a text-to-speech software. These days everything is available. Speech to text is available, text to speech is available. So the technology has grown to such an extent that this field is also, I gave one company, Microsoft name as example. There are plenty of companies which have been doing this work. And for them, the conversion again depends on the type of language used, the pronunciation which is played there, spoken there, and the text which is going into a memory device in what form, digital form or scripture form, what it should be. All these are decided by developing agencies. Then drone technology. This is in fact a leading technology which is happening across the country, and a lot of drone companies have come up. And drones, what you see in weddings and cultural programs for photography are different. They are simplified versions of drones and for entertainment. But for critical applications, there are very good, effective drone technologies. One simple example I'd like to share with all of you, landmines, when the enemy country plans for killing our soldiers, if they have to be diffused, there were some life losses earlier. But now drone technology has been developed by an youngster of 18-year-old boy. He has developed a technology using drone which helps in diffusing landmines without reaching that place. It identifies, it places a mark there, and the diffusers can work on that. Similarly, in agriculture, drug delivery, medical field also we are using, but the important requirements are these things: life-saving. Drug delivery is life-saving, but it is available now. It is not that much required. But patient movement, monitoring also is not that difficult. But if some facility, medical facility is required at one place, in hilly area, let us say, and if the hospital is away from that place, then drones have been designed now which can carry with all kinds of testing instruments about 150 kgs weight human being. Without pilot, just ship the patient into the drone will carry to the hospital, destination hospital. Another important thing which I would like to share with all of you is drones you have seen with 4 rotors basically, and they will be flying. And why do they use 4 rotors? We can use 3, 2, 5, 6, nothing else than balancing. 4 rotors will balance properly. And you have actuators in that, sensors, transducers, all these are present there. This is all physics and used in electronics technology for taking care of agricultural products. So these drones now, when they can spray the pesticide and all that, they can only fly. But on ground also, crops get affected because of insects, etc., etc. There are many problems on ground. How do drones tackle it? again farmer is at loss. So now the technology has been designed with spikes, not rotors, with cycle type spikes like. And these spikes height is adjustable. Suppose if the plants are this high, you can enlarge them. If they are smaller, then push them down. So the drone moves across the crop and tries to detect the things, analyze, and advise. So electronics is such an important subject now. Everywhere, day in, day out, it is used. And then we talk about Internet of Things, and the definition I wrote there, you can see collective networks of connected devices. Simple terminology there. And why it is used, what it is used, you can search for it. And then people talk about machine learning and also data analysis. And machine learning and data analysis are definitely techniques which can be helping in analyzing statistical data. Huge amount of statistical informations, if they have to be analyzed in various aspects, various angles, these things will help. Particularly machine language is large amount of space in a small amount of time searching. And then technology now connects everything everywhere. And every day new technology transforms the world around us. And the era of 5G and 6G is here. High-speed digital technology is in demand. Signal integrity and power integrity are the ones which are looked for. And memory designs which can accommodate more capacities of information, data in them. All the things which I spoke now are summarized in this slide. And future of technology. In fact, there are limitations for electronic device designs. We know the structure of any substrate, semiconductor substrate, is used for designing a semiconductor device. Now that substrate will have atoms in that. Any material will have atomic structure. Now, for example, if we take silicon, more predominant substrate used in electronic device designs and fabrication. Now, silicon has interatomic distance of 0.3 nanometers. That means you cannot have a junction of two electrodes. Junction of two electrodes smaller than 3 nanometers. So the compactness of the design has a limitation there. And also, if you try, okay, I'll push one on the other and design it, then the most damaging thing which happens is the potential barriers around each atom will overlap. And with the result, the tunneling current flows across the barrier. And that continuously will be flowing. When the current is flowing through an atom in a substrate, what it means? It is active. It is biased, either forward or reverse, based on the influence. That means the device which is designed with this kind of atomic structure will not have any off-on conditions which a user can do. I cannot switch off the device. I cannot switch on because it is there always on. It is always on. So this limitation we have to overcome. And this is the reason why till now you people have heard of nanotechnology. Have you ever heard of picotechnology? 10 to the power minus 12. Why? This is the reason. Technology is dependent on electronics. Electronics is dependent on semiconductor device designs. Semiconductor device designs are dependent on atomic structure and interatomic distances. And you don't have pico dimensions in that. So picoelectronics is not spoken about till now. But we have to look for alternative methods to develop devices which can be functioning in that way. And for that, I have written all this. I don't have time. I will not be reading it, but you understood now what I meant. Next, I wanted to talk to you about STEM courses for a minute. And for that, the national education policy, which helps us in having horizontal mobility in our education system, helps. And science, technology, engineering, and mathematics are the main subjects with which we can do any kind of thing. It is not saying physics, chemistry, biology, genetics, microbiology, science, it says. That means all the science subjects are equally competitive with all the other three. And most important thing, the specializations which you come across in technology and engineering depend on basic sciences, what you study. And in mathematics, they are dependent as per the education policy only on statistics. In maths, it says data analysis, probability. That means actually statistics have no future nowadays. Nobody was to opt. It was very dying subject at the time. But now, because of electronics, it has come to a level, all statisticians are very busy without knowing electronics. And if electronics people learn statistics, it becomes more easy for all of us to dominate in the society. So I request all of you, as a teacher in the past and as a scientist presently, don't get discouraged or disappointed by any kind of misinformation. You can judge yourself, everything. You have all kinds of sources accessible to you through technology. Decide yourself what you are capable of doing, and present day situation is everything is accepted by the society. Earlier, people were to say you should become a doctor, you should become an engineer, you should become something, whatever desires they had. But now it is not like that. Even cultural arts, if you expertise yourself, use the technology, you will win the world. So, with this, in fact, I'm not going to the details there. Yeah, if you have any kind of clarifications to seek with me right now, 5 minutes. Otherwise, we can have later. And I have shown some instruments there. In fact, university has a research center where lots of facilities are created. And presently it is named as Professor T. Navneet Rao Center for Research and Development. Recently, Professor T. Navneet Rao was former Vice Chancellor and he is no more now. So in respect of him, the Central Facilities building has been named by this, and it has a data center. University Computer Center is established in that, and the data center is working there. And people who are interested in studying chemistry and its analysis, material analysis, they have an instrument called ICP-MS, which I had shown there, an advanced technical instrument, and it helps in understanding many number of ions at one go. Yeah? Plasma. Inductively coupled plasma mass spectrometer. spectrometry is actually once upon a time, again, nobody was to opt for it. In spite of Professor C.V. Raman's Nobel Prize achievement, but now everybody knows what is spectroscopy. So, thank you all. It's an honor for me to be here with all of you. And this is one more addition to my acquaintance with St.Ann's College. And I wish all the best to all of you, including your classmates, batchmates, everybody in your respective institutes. I wish all the managements to take care of education and also the requirements of students in their respective colleges. I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. We are really enlightened in the importance of physics and electronics and the communication networking. Now I request Ms. Rini Francina to propose the vote of thanks.
Good morning, everyone. I, Rini Francina, Faculty of Physics and Electronics Department, want to express my heartfelt gratitude to Professor K. Venugopal Reddy, Professor of Physics, Osmania University, who graced us with his presence. I also thank Dr. GSVRK Chaudhary, Principal of Bhavans Vivekananda College, Ms. Prasanna Ma'am and Dr. Swarna Kumari Ma'am for their virtual presence. I thank Professor K. Venugopal Reddy, sir. I thank Bhavans Vivekananda Reddy College for their faculty for their presence. And I also thank Professor K. Venugopal Reddy for sharing his knowledge on the evolution of electronics and communication electronics and how it plays a vital role in real-time applications. And I take the privilege to thank the principal, Dr. Sister Vijayarani, the correspondent, Sister Dayakumari, and the college management for their unwavering support and guidance in the organizing this event. I would like to express my gratitude to the technical support team, Mr. Joseph, Mr. Ravi, and Mr. Francis for their work with the sound system. And I thank Mr. Sundar, sir, for capturing all the amazing pictures. I also express my gratitude to Mr. Arogyam and Mr. Srikanth for their efforts in organizing this event. I thank the choir team and Shravani of second year for the graceful dance performance. Last but not the least, a special thanks to all the students, participants, and volunteers who have worked tirelessly alongside us. Let us all rise for the national anthem.
On behalf of all these colleges who are participants of this event, and on my own behalf, I would like to thank and express my gratitude to Indian Association of Physics Teachers who are funding this event and who are kind enough in encouraging us to meet here and share everything possible in the technology. Thank you once again to IIPT and thank you all.
Professor Rajeshwara also was behind this. I take this platform to offer my thanks to Professor Rajeshwara. He was supposed to be there here, at least virtually, but anyway, we honor your presence as well. Thank you. Over to Rini.
विनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा
तब शुभ नामे जागे, तब शुभ आशीष मागे, गाहे तब जय गाथा। जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
I request everyone to proceed for the competition in the room number 218.